Hi everyone, welcome to 5 Minute Video Study for the NCE. Today we are under Counseling Skills and Intervention, and we are in subcategory L, Explore Religious and Spiritual Values. Um, in counseling, one of the major themes is clients' spirituality or religion beliefs. This can also be a thing that counselors have identified with. I've heard the word Christian counselor that has been used in marketing materials. So counselors, kind what one of the things that are often explored is what does spiritual and religion mean to an individual. Now, part of that is that it's a very complex nature because it can mean many things to many different individuals. Major counseling organizations have recognized the importance of the issue, and spiritual and religious matters are therapeutically relevant. They're also ethically appropriate and potentially significant topic because many of the outlooks, many of the beliefs, many of the cultural ideologies could be tied to the religion spirituality of the client. So, with that, a counselor must be prepared to deal with these clients and the different issues that may arise. Religious and spirituality are often part of the client's problems, but can also be part of the client's solutions. So, spiritual and religious values can play a major part in human life. Spiritual values should be viewed as a potential resource in therapy rather than something to be ignored. So, during the assessment process in therapy, it can be um, asked as far as kind of what are some of the beliefs, what are some of the practices, and from that information, then that can be a point of exploration in therapy. Religious faith or some form of personal spirituality can also be a very powerful source of meaning and purpose. Some religions does not occupy a key space. Yet, even with clients where they may not have formal religious practices, there could be spiritual practices, and it's important to distinguish between the two. So, spiritual values help many people make sense out of the universe and the purpose of lives on earth, like things like meaning, faith, or spirituality can be very personal for each individual, and even if a client may say they belong to a certain spiritual or religious denomination, it can still look very different based off the individual. Also, it's important to understand that spirituality and religious can be sources of strength. They can certainly find a great deal of meaning. The client can also be instrumental in promoting some of the healing. So, as clinicians, as counselors, it's important to gain insight into some of those core beliefs as well as some of the values and how that reflects on the behavior. Um, Other things to keep in mind is, asking different types of questions, such as, is the way that I'm living my life congruent with religion and my spirituality? Does the religion or spirituality assist me in better understanding the meaning of life and death, especially, for a client that might be facing that? Does my religion and spirituality allow me to accept for others to see the world differently from me? That's where you can kind of get that different perspective. Does religion or spirituality encounter me to put my beliefs into action? So this is where clients are seeing the different dimensions and how these, whether it's scripture or beliefs, personalized to the client. Other questions that might be important are, is the religious faith or value system something I actively choose or passively accept? And that kind of goes into that locus of control. Does religion and spirituality values help me live life fully and treat others within respect or and concern. So again, that deals with, how they make sense of those belief systems. So, with religion and spirituality, that is something to assess, that is something to look at, both as a strength as well as a maladaptation in many cases. But it's important to keep that in the forefront because it is part of that multicultural dimensions.